Morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching this from. This is Cornelius Subinda with another video. So in this video we are attempting to answer the 2025 paper 1 internal additional mathematics, which was written on 17th November 2025. Okay, the time duration was 2 hours for this paper. Okay, so when you're given an examination paper like this, what you need to do is you check. There's a certain number there's an examination number, so you fill in accordingly when you're given. You wait for the instructions, okay? After you have been given instructions, you go through the paper, if they have allowed you to do that. And then if they've allowed you to go through the paper again, write your examination number on each and every page of the question paper. The second page consists of the mathematics formulae, which is just the formulas that are essential. Some of them are important just to help you if you don't have a sharp memory with formulas. Yeah, but by the end of your additional mathematics you should have known these formulas. Alright. The instruction reads, answer all questions in this question paper. Write your answers in the spaces provided after each question. They are saying the lines with equations y plus 5x is equal to 10 and y minus x is equal to 4 cut the x and y axes at a and b respectively. The midpoint of a and b is 5p minus 1, q plus 4. Find the value of P and Q. This was carrying 4 marks. So you can look at the question. They are saying the line with equation y plus 5x is equal to 10. It cuts the x-axis. So I'm talking about the first equation. It cuts the x-axis at A. One thing you need to know is that along the x-axis, if you are to get a coordinate, for example, you have the xy plane like that. This is the y, this is the x, there's a 0, and then you have a point, you have 1 there, and then they tell you write this as a point, and then they tell you that's A. Write it as a point, as a coordinate rather. So it's actually 1, 0, this point. That's what I'm trying to say. So along the x-axis, what I want you to see is y is equal to 0, because right here there is a 0, okay? And then if we had a different point, okay, let's say the point is B and the point is there, it's point B, and that particular point is a 2, okay? And then they say write B as a coordinate. You write it as 0, 2. What am I trying to say? Along the y-axis, okay, in this case, x is equal to 0. Along the x-axis here, y, this is y, is equal to 0. That's what I wanted you to take note of before we start answering. You have seen that, right? Others may be confused, so it will be better explained when I start answering. Just wanted to clear up any confusion so that when we start answering, at least you have an idea of what I mean. So we are saying y plus 5x is equal to 10. And then they are saying it cuts the x-axis at A. So we are going to say when when y is equal to 0, because they're saying it cuts the x-axis at A. Okay, along the x-axis, y is equal to 0. So it's going to, oh my goodness, sorry for that. It has, I'm going to bring it back. Let me see where it has gone. Just give me time. Okay, we are back. Along the x-axis, y is equal to 0. So we are saying when y is equal to 0, it's going to become a 0 plus 5x is equal to a 10. So 5x is equal to 10. We divide by 5, we divide by 5. 5 can go into itself a 1, into itself a 1, into itself a 1, into 10 it's twice. So x is equal to 2, and point A is a 2, 0, because we said when y is equal to 0, we said it right here. To continue, we got the second equation, which is y minus x is equal to a 4. And then they're saying it cuts the y-axis at B. So along the y-axis, x is equal to 0. We are going to say when x is equal to 0, to continue, to be y minus 0 is equal to a 4, y is equal to a 4. So it's gonna be B. The coordinate is going to be B, which is 0, 4. Because why am I saying 0, 4? Because of the x is equal to 0. To continue, you have to see that what they said here, the lines with equations that and that, okay, point A and B. So we have found the coordinates of point A and B. Now they want us to find the value of P and Q. That is the question. A and B is not the final answer, the points that we have found, but we have to now find the value of P and Q. But take note, they are saying the midpoint of A and B is 5P minus 1, Q plus 4. When you see that, you don't even need to overthink. You just need to know that you have to find the midpoint of A and B. This is how you write it. Midpoint of A and B is equal to x sub 1 or x subscript 1 divide plus x subscript 2, you divide by 2. You divide by 2, y subscript 1 plus y subscript 2, divide by 2. Midpoint of AB, we have been told in the question, midpoint of A and B is 5P minus 1, Q plus 4 is equal to x sub 1. I'm going to pick my coordinate, my x coordinate from A, which is a 2, plus x coordinate from B is a 0, you divide by 2, y, the y coordinate from A, okay, as my y1 is a 0, then y coordinate from B as my y2 is a 4. We can still, I think we can still continue. So it will be 5P minus 1, Q plus 4 is equal to a 2 you divide by 2, 4 you divide by 2. This can simplify. 2 can go into itself a 1, 2 can go into itself a 1, 2 can go into itself a 1, 2 can go into 4, 2. So you have a 1, 2. I hope you can see that. So in an exam, your wouldn't finish. The space is quite big. I'm just using a very big handwriting so that it can actually be visible. But just know that the space will be big. You are not going to run out of space in the exam. Okay, so I hope you are following up to that stage. So now we are going to say 5, no, not like that. Let me zoom in. Not like that too. Okay. 5P minus 1, Q plus 4 is equal to a 1, this is a 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 5p plus 5p minus 1, sorry, is equal to a 1, comma, q plus 4 is equal to a 2. 5p is equal to a 2. Let us answer this simple equation. You divide both sides by 5. 5 can go into itself a 1, 5 can go into itself a 1. So we are trying to find the value of p. So p will be equal to 2 over 5. As you can see, if you take the 4 to the other side of the equation to become 2 minus 4, q is equal to a negative 2. After you reach here, we simplify. Okay, sorry, just trying to create space. No, sorry, what did I say? We don't simplify, we are done. So we conclude. Therefore, p is equal to 2 over 5, comma, q is equal to negative 2. In additional mathematics, you always conclude when you find an answer. You don't just leave it. You know, there's a mark for the final answer. Of course, there are marks, method marks for the working, but for the final answer, there is a mark. Then you have your question 2, which says, solve the simultaneous equations. It's carrying 5 marks. So our aim is actually to make one of the letters either x or y. Okay, so here there's a okay, you know what I mean, x or y subject of the formula, and then we come and substitute in that equation. So it's up to you to pick what you want to use. You make either x or y subject of the formula, then you substitute in that equation, which is your equation 2. So I'm going to name this as my equation 1, this as my equation 2. So equation 2, equation 2, equation 1. Then I'll write a very small statement which is saying I'll make y subject of the formula. Let y be equal to 2 minus x in equation 2. So anywhere you can see y, you're going to put 2 minus x. 4 multiplied by 2 minus x squared minus x squared is equal to 11. So 4 multiplied by, how do we expand this bracket? We'll say 2, the number that is there, we're going to square it. So we're going to raise it to the power 2. Okay? Raising it to the power 2, it becomes 2 times 2, which is a 4. And then the next thing we're going to do is 2 times negative x times 2. Which is going to become a negative 4x. And then a negative x like this. A negative number or a variable, you always put it in brackets, then you square it. Otherwise, when you write it like this, actually you're going to find something else. So write it like this. So your final answer is going to be, I've explained there. Okay, let's go back to the black ink. It's going to be plus x squared. We close the bracket, so we are done expanding this bracket. Then we come back here. Minus x squared is equal to 11. We distribute the 4 in this bracket. It's going to be 16 minus 16x plus 4x squared minus x squared is equal to 11. you group the like terms together. So they're already grouped together, if you can see. So you don't even need to move anything. You just need to simplify. So it's going to be 16. Okay, let's just group all of them. Let's form a quadratic rather. So it will be 4x squared minus x squared minus 16x plus 16. Then this 11 will go to the other side, and then it will become minus 11 is equal to a 0. To continue, to be 3x squared minus 16x plus 5 is equal to 0. As you can see, we have formed a quadratic equation. So what are we going to do here? We need to find okay, one thing to also note is that this quadratic equation can be factorized by using factorization. Okay, what I've said is repetitive, right? You can answer this using factorization. That's what I mean to say. Where you need to find the product. The product is the multiplication of the one having x squared and the one having no variable. So the coefficient there multiplied by the constant there. So your product is equal to a 15. 3 times 5 is a positive 15. Then your sum is this number which is in the middle. Sum is equal to a negative 16. Then your factors are which numbers, when you multiply, they give you a 15, but when you add, they give you negative 16. So those two numbers are negative 1, negative 1 and negative 15. So when you are thinking of factors, also think of all integers, not just natural numbers, or positive numbers or whole numbers, just positive numbers. No, think of integers. So even negative numbers are okay. So now we know that in place of the negative 16 there, we are going to write our two factors there. Okay. So to continue, it's going to be 3x squared minus 15x minus minus 15x. The 15x is going in the air. So minus 15x minus x plus 5 is equal to 0. What we have done, instead of writing negative 16x, we are writing minus 15x minus x, which is the same thing. To continue, we factorize by grouping, so we factorize this and this. What we have done is we have effectively formed 4 terms. A term is separated by a plus or minus sign, so the way we count terms is like this. This is the first term, this is the second term, this is the third term. Now, as we have formed the first, the second, the third, and the fourth, so we have formed 4 terms. 4 terms, sorry. And we are going to simplify like that. Okay, it's going to become, we factor out the 3x, it's going to become it's going to become x minus 5. And then here we factor, these lines are important. They're showing that we are factorizing by grouping. So we factorize the first 2 terms, then we factorize the last 2 terms. There I factored out a 3x, here I factor out a negative 1 so that we leave x positive. Negative 1 into a positive 5, you are going to have a negative 5 is equal to 0. I don't know how that happened, why the document is doing that. But let's continue. So we are going to say is equal to 0. I accidentally clicked something. Yes, okay. So x minus 5, and then we have 3x minus 1 is equal to 0, x minus 5 is equal to 0, or 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. So what have I done? I got this bracket, it's here, and then the 3x and the negative 1, the numbers that are in front of the brackets also form their own bracket like that. So x minus 5 is equal to 0, or 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. Oh, dear me, what is happening? Okay, so let me clean up, but let me make the document smaller. Okay, so this document was having some problems. It has wasted a bit of my time. I wanted to, not spend a lot of time answering this question paper. Okay, but let's continue. We were saying x minus 5 is equal to 0, or 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. If you're not sure what I've written, it's right here. So to continue, let's go this side. 3x is equal to a positive 1. We divide by a 3. We divide by a 3. 3 can go into itself a 1. 3 can go into itself a 1. So your x is equal to a 1 over 3. Your x is equal to a 5, or your x is equal to a 1 over 3. After we find our x's like this, we now go to where we said let y be equal to 2 minus x. So we are going to say when x is equal to 5, y is equal to 2 minus x. In this case, x is 5, y is equal to a negative 3. We clean up, and then this side will say when x is equal to 1 over 3, y is equal to 2 minus x, x is 1 over 3. So when you're simplifying something like this, there's a simple thing to do. I want you to take notes to save you some time in the exam. For example, I'm simplifying 3 minus 1 over 3. What I'll do is I'll get this denominator here, then I'll multiply it by this 3. Okay, or let me do it like this. So you do that, right? You start finding the lowest common denominator. That's what you normally do, right? You say 3 over 1. But what I'll tell you is get this 3, multiply it by this 3 here, and multiply it by this 1 here. Okay? If that is confusing to you, it will give you a 6 over 3 minus 1 over 3, and your answer is going to be 5 over 3. So it means you just subtract these numerators, and then you're going to find a 5 over 3. That's the hack I wanted to show you. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So it's going to be 6 over 3 minus 1 over 3. Your answer is going to be a 5 over 3 as your y. That's it. So your y is equal to a negative 3, y is equal to a 5 over 3. To conclude, I'll conclude right here. Therefore, when x is equal to 5, y is equal to a negative 3, and when x is equal to 1 over 3, y is equal to 5 over 3. That's your final answer, and you get your 5 marks. 5 marks just like that. You see why people say it's easy to pass ADMA? They also say at the same time it is very easy to fail it. Okay, so we are done there. We are going to question 3. Question 3 is what we call the discriminant. The discriminant is something, okay? It is the part that is under the square root, which is the b squared minus 4ac. So that is your discriminant. So this question is about that same part, where they're saying find the range of values of k for which the line y is equal to 8x minus k does not meet that particular curve. So you need to know 3 types of scenarios. So the first scenario is where you have a curve and then a line meets the curve at one point there only, so it is tangent to the curve. When it meets the curve at one point, it is tangent to the curve. It means in this particular case the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4, so this is minus 4ac, is going to be equal to 0. So when it is tangent, it is going to be equal to 0. So this is the first scenario I wanted you to see. Then the second one is, okay, let's go back here. The second scenario, okay, is you have your curve like that, and then you have a line. Now it's touching the curve at 2 distinct points. This one, it is going to give repeated roots. So if they say repeated roots, or if a curve is touching a line is touching the curve at 2 points, or they say repeated roots, they are simply trying to tell you that the discriminant, which is the b squared minus 4ac, is actually greater than 0. Okay, so we can clean up. You need to know all these. So the second thing the third thing I need to know, okay, it is when you have a curve and a line, then the line does not meet the curve, like in question 3. Okay, it means that there are no roots. No roots. So the answers, roots mean answers, okay? It will have no roots, meaning there will be no real solutions, okay? When there are no roots, the discriminant b squared minus 4ac is going to be less than 0. Okay, so that's what you need to take note of as we are going to answer this question on discriminant. So let me just clean up, then we get on with the answering. What you need to know is we need to simplify, and then we form a quadratic equation in this form. This is called the standard form. A squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is called the standard form. So we want to leave our quadratic equation in this form called the standard form. How are we going to do that? So we are going to say, let's use the black ink. Let me also increase so that you can see what I mean. So y is equal to 8x minus k, and then we have y minus x squared is equal to a negative 4. This can be our equation 1, this can be our equation 2. So this can be our equation 2, like that. Okay. We are going to say, first look at the equation 2 and equation 1 properly. So we are going to say let y be equal to 8x minus k in equation 1. So let y be equal to 8x minus k in equation 2 rather, sorry, because we are using equation 1 and then we are going to substitute it in equation 2. So this would become 8x minus k minus x squared is equal to a negative 4. To continue, we are going to take the negative x squared the other side, the negative k to the other side, the 8x also is going to go to the other side. This is going to look like, so look at it well, it's going to become positive x squared minus 8x and then minus 4, okay, plus k is equal to 0. So now it is in the standard form, the x squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now we start saying our a is equal to the number in front of x squared is a 1. Our b is equal to the number in front of x, which is a negative 8. Our c is equal to whatever has remained, which has no variable. In this case, it is a negative 4 plus a k. So that's your a, that's your b, and that's your c. To continue, since this particular line that is in the question does not meet the curve, it means b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. So our b is a negative 8 squared minus 4 multiplied by 1 multiplied by c, which is negative 4 plus k, is less than 0. To continue, it's going to be 64. Negative 4 multiplied by a negative 4, you are going to have plus 16. Negative 4 multiplied by a negative k, you are going to have minus 4k is less than 0. To continue, you are going to have 80 minus 4k is less than 0. So 80 is less than 4k. So I've taken the 4k, that one, to the other side of the equation. The sign here has not changed because I haven't divided or multiplied. I haven't divided or multiplied by anything. Okay, take note of that. So now I'm dividing by 4. So the inequality will still remain the same because I'm not dividing by any negative number. 4 into itself is a 1, 4 into itself a 1, 4 into itself is a 1, 4 into 20, 4 into a, into what? Into 8 is a 20. So you're going to have 20 is less than k. Therefore, k is actually greater than 20. This is your final answer. So anything for your k here, so if you are to put any number greater than 21 here, you are going to have a discriminant that is less than 0. Discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac is the discriminant. Then that's it for that question, and then we have gone to this new question. So that question was carrying how many marks? It was carrying 4 marks. So 4 marks, easy like that. The next question reads, the functions g and h are defined by g of x is equal to 5x, then h of x is equal to 2x plus a 5 divided by 2 minus px, where x is not equal to 2 over p respectively, where p is a constant. Find h of x inverse, or you can say h inverse of x is a proper way to say it. It's carrying only 2 marks. So the first thing that you do is write your h of x. So h of x is equal to 2x plus a 5 divided by 2 minus px. You're going to say let y be equal to h of x. So where there is h of x, you put a y is equal to 2x plus a 5 divided by 2 minus px. So I haven't changed anything, but instead of writing h of x, I have written y. Then you divide by 1, you cross multiply. So it will be y multiplied by the denominator, and then the numerator is going to be multiplied by a 1. We are going to clean up. So this means we are saying y multiplied by 2 minus px, okay, is equal to 2x plus a 5. So our aim is to now make x subject of the formula. First of all, let's distribute the y. So this will become 2y minus 2p minus 2pxy is equal to 2x plus a 5. To continue, we group everything having x together, so this will go to that side of the equation, and then it will become 2y minus 5 is equal to 2x. I don't know why I did this. Okay, so here it was y multiplied by a 2 to give you 2y, and then again a y multiplied by a negative px. So just supposed to give me negative pxy, but I put this 2. Sorry for that. So sorry. So let me just clean up. Let me just remove this 2. And then I also remove that. Okay. So minus like that. So it's going to be 2x plus pxy. Okay. So we start cleaning up. Let's clean up to create more space. In the exam, this space would be enough for everything that I'm doing here. Remember this, I'm writing in a very big handwriting, and in the exam you didn't write something this big. So you factor out the x, it will remain as 2 plus a py is equal to 2y minus 5. So you divide both sides by a 2 plus py, you divide by a 2 plus py, you clean off, this and this will cancel out, giving you x is equal to 2y minus 5. You divide by 2 plus a py, and then to conclude, you are going to say, so I don't have enough space, so I'm just going to conclude here. Therefore, h inverse of x is equal to 2x minus 5, you divide by 2 plus px. So 2x minus 5, you divide by 2 plus px. And if you check, nothing much has changed. The only thing that has changed are the signs here when you find the inverse function. And then there's a second question there. Okay. To continue, we are now finding h of g of x. It's also carrying 2 marks. So let us first of all write our h of x. Our h of x is 2x plus 5 divided by 2 minus px. So h of x is equal to 2x plus 5 divided by 2 minus px. So our h of g of x would be equal to 2 multiplied by x. So where there is x, we are going to put g of x. Or maybe you haven't circled properly, you are still confused, right? We're going to put g of x. So our g of x is defined by the 5x, or g of x is equal to 5x. Let me say it like that. So where there is x, we're going to put 5x. 2 multiplied by 5x, like that, plus a 5, you divide by a 2 minus p multiplied by a 5x, comma. Going to put a comma there, then we say, therefore, h of g of x is equal to accidentally clicked a wrong button there, is equal to, okay, there won't be enough space there, so let me just clean up. I've just seen that. So therefore h of g of x will be equal to 10x plus a 5 divided by 2 minus px. This is your final answer for h of g. Wait. You divide by 2 minus 5px. This is your final answer. When you simplify here, you're going to have a minus 5px. So that's your final answer. Then they are saying the value of p for which h of g of 1 is equal to 15 over 7. So before we even find h of g of 1, we need to write our h of g of x. H of g of x is equal to 10x plus a 5. You divide by 2 minus 5px. Then we'll say when h of g of 1 is equal to 15 over 7. So it's going to become 10 multiplied by 1 plus a 5. You divide by, let's put another comma. So 10 multiplied by 1 plus a 5, you divide by 2 minus 5p multiplied by 1 is equal to 15 over 7. So it's going to become a 10 plus a 5 you divide by 2 minus 5p is equal to a 15 over 7. When you reach this point, you cross multiply. So let's clean up here. When you cross multiply, it's going to be, if you simplify here, 10 plus 5 is a 35. 35 times Yes, 10 plus 5 is a 35. Then if you type in your calculator 35 times 7, you are going to get a 245. I hope you are following. So a 245 is equal to a 15 multiplied by 2 minus 5p. So a 245 is equal to a 30 minus 75p. I hope you are following, right? So that's the answer we are having. Okay. I just wanted to give you some time to look at what I've done. So it's going to be 245 minus 30 is equal to negative 75p. Here we clean up. 245 minus 30 is a 215. 245 minus 30 is a 215. So you are going to say 215 is equal to negative 75p. Divide by negative 75. Divide by a negative 75. 75 can go into itself 1. Into itself 1. P is going to be equal to 215 divided by 75. Here is going to be 2 minus 5px. There is going to be your p is going to be equal to 2 remainder 13 over 15. That's your final answer. Okay, so let's continue. I was just looking at the working and just saw no, I made a mistake. Okay, I'm so sorry for that. I was trying to multiply things in my head, then I was doing the wrong thing actually. So here, if you remember very well, it was 7 multiplied by 15. Now I don't know, in my head I was doing 7 multiplied by 35. Okay, so all this I'm going to clean up. Sorry for that. So 7 multiplied by 15 is going to give you 105, right? Okay, so 105 is equal to, is going to be equal to 30 minus 75p. So if you take the 30 to the other side, it's going to become 105 minus 30 is equal to negative 75p. And then you're going to have 75 is equal to negative 75p. Divide by negative 75, divide by negative 75. 75 into itself is going to give you 1. Okay, so therefore p is equal to a negative 1, not the answer we found. Please take note. P is equal to negative 1. Next question is question 5, radian measure. Okay, so here I won't even talk much because we can be talking for 7 hours and no one will hear anything. This topic is something that needs you to be patient with it, answering, practicing a lot of questions, otherwise you will face challenges with it. In the following diagram, ABCD is a rhombus of side 7 centimeters. Angle ADC is 3 pi over 4 radians, and BCD is a sector of a circle with center C. The question reads, find the perimeter of the shaded region and the area of the shaded region. And this question, which troubles a lot of people, only carries 3 plus 2 marks, which is 5 marks only. So what do you need to know? What do you need to do to ace this question? What you need to do is, first of all, they said you need to look at the information and dissect it slowly. They said it is a rhombus. Okay, so you need to know all the types of polygons. You need to know the properties of a parallelogram, a rhombus, a square, a kite. Okay, so all those, you need to know the properties. Now in this case, it's a rhombus. A rhombus gets its properties from a square. A square is a 4-sided polygon like that with all the sides equal. And then the angles here, okay, they are 90 degrees. And the sum of all the angles inside should give you 360 degrees. So the sum is the same as 2 pi radians. Okay, 2 pi radians. So what am I trying to say? Also for this, any 4-sided polygon has a sum which is equal to 2 pi radians. Any 4-sided polygon, okay? That's what you need to know. So since this is a 4-sided polygon, the sum of all the angles should give you 360 degrees. Now, a rhombus, the properties are that the opposite angles are equal. So as you can see, this angle is opposite to this angle, then this angle is opposite to that angle. So even here, it's going to give you a 3 pi over 4. Now, if we want to know the angle here and the angle there, what we are going to do is this. We are going to say alpha. Okay, no, let me not say that, you might get confused. That okay, we'll say is equal to 2 pi minus, so it will be 3 pi over 4 plus 3 pi over 4. Then you put that in brackets. It's the same as saying 2 pi minus 6 pi over 4. The same as saying 8 pi over 4 minus 6 pi over 4. It's the same as saying 2 pi over 4. It's the same as saying 2 pi over 4 is 2 can go into itself a 1, into 4 it's a 2 pi over 2 as your answer. So the angle here, the sum of these two angles, you add them together, it's going to give you theta is equal to a pi over 2. So if you want to find the value of one angle, you're going to say pi over 2. You say pi over 2 divided by 2, or you can say pi over 2 multiplied by half, which is going to give you pi over 4. So if you answer this one well, it's also going to give you pi over 4. So what we are concentrating on is a pi over 4. Okay, so my approach might be weird to some of you. I haven't even explained what I'm doing. I'm just busy writing things, right? Let me explain why I've done what I've done. So before you even start answering the question, use the information that have been given in the question. At least try to establish a common ground, something that can help you move on. Because if you just start to get on with the question, you might get stuck. At least use the information you have been given and then break it down. So already we know that the angle here is theta is equal to pi over 4. Even here it is pi over 4. Okay, because opposite angles are equal in a rhombus. And then a rhombus is like a square. This side is 7 centimeters. 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 The only difference is that there is a slant, there is a gradient. The lines are like that, right? So the lines are like this, not like this in a square. They slant in a rhombus. So, upon us knowing that, we can go to question 1, which says find the perimeter. The perimeter is going to be this length here plus this length here plus the arc length there. That is your perimeter. So look at the diagram properly. The perimeter will be equal to AB plus AD plus arc BD, because it's the total distance around a given shape. Perimeter is equal to AB plus AD plus arc BD. So to find the arc BD, we're going to say S is equal to R theta. We know that the radius, so we're talking about this arc. Maybe you might be confused. The arc here. Okay, so it is 7 centimeters long, and then the angle we found is pi over 4. R is 7 multiplied by pi over 4. Correct your answer to 4 decimal places. It's going to give you 7 multiplied by pi over 4 is going to give you 5.49778. Okay, this is 5 decimal places, right? 5.4978 centimeters. So this is 4 decimal places. Perimeter is going to be equal to 7 for AB plus AD, which is 7, plus arc BD, which is 5.4978, which is going to be equal to plus 7 plus 7. Your answer is going to be 19.4978. Therefore, perimeter is equal to 19. So therefore, perimeter is equal to 19.5 centimeters as your final answer. The next question is the area of the shaded region. So the area of a rhombus is like the area of a parallelogram. So it means we're going to find the area of this rhombus, and then after you find the area of the total thing, we are going to remove this area here for this sector. What we are going to remain with is the area of the shaded region right there. So everything that I've said does not make sense to somebody. Let me explain it. So you have a parallelogram where you have two sides that are parallel and another two sides that are parallel. Or let me draw it differently. So you have two parallel lines like that, and then you have two other lines like that. This is a parallelogram where we have an arrow there, then a double one there, double one there, to show that it's a parallelogram. So what we can say from here, from the bottom to the top, that is the height, and then the length here is the base. The area of a parallelogram is equal to base times height. That's the same formula for a rhombus. Now a rhombus has the area being equal to s squared or L squared, because the length let me say it like this. A rhombus, okay, it has the height, it's like that. That's how a rhombus is, and then all the sides are equal. So to find the area of a rhombus, what you need to do is this. What I meant to say is that it's similar to the square, but the area of a rhombus is actually okay. So I was likening it to a square, but a rhombus is like a parallelogram. So to find the area, you need to know that particular height there, and you know that the base length, which is this length here, you know is to be 7, but the height you don't know. So what you can do, it's very simple. You can just find this like that, extend it, and then you find that particular height. What I mean is that you know this is 7, and you know that the angle that is in here. Okay, let me draw it differently. You might not be able to understand what I mean, so I'll explain it. Let us get on with the answering of the question. So what I'm meaning is, let's clean up. You might get confused. There are a lot of writings here. Okay. So what I'm meaning is we need to know the height here. Because the formula is equal to the base times the height. Just like a parallelogram. Now what's the height there? What can you use? Let me freshen your memory. Okay. Here the angle, you know that it is pi over 4. And then I draw a straight line like that. I extend another straight line like that, such that here it forms 90 degrees. And then here also, if you look, okay, let me do it properly. Let me use a blue, no, not a blue one, a red one. If you look properly here, there's a 90 degrees also here. So pi over 4 is 45 degrees. 90 degrees is pi over 2. Yes, pi over 2. So you need to write pi over 4 also here, such that when you add the angle that you have found here and here, they should give you this here. I hope that's making sense. Okay, so to continue, you start thinking about the trig ratios. Here, we already know that hypotenuse here is 7 centimeters, because all the sides of a rhombus are equal, 7 centimeters. And then what we are looking for is our height. So the hypotenuse is 7 centimeters, and then our height here, which is the length there, our h is the adjacent side. So it's going to be the hypotenuse divided by the adjacent. We have the, sorry, I haven't said it properly, sorry. We have the hypotenuse and then we have the adjacent. Then which trig ratio are you going to think of which has the hypotenuse and the adjacent? The trig ratio you're going to think of is cos theta, because it's equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So what I'm talking about is this. Maybe you might be confused the way it's looking in this particular diagram here. Okay, so this is what is happening. Here we have 90 degrees, there it's 7 centimeters, the angle there is pi over 4, and then we are looking for this length here, which is our x. So how are we going to do it? We are going to say cos theta, theta is pi over 4, so cos pi over 4 is equal to the adjacent, which is x, you divide by the hypotenuse 7. To continue, we'll say over 1, x is equal to cos pi over 4 times 7. Make sure your calculator is in radians. If it's not, you're going to find a different answer. So you type cos pi over 4 then times 7. You are going to get x is equal to a 4.94. So cos pi over 4 times 7 is 4.9497 centimeters. Then after you reach here, you can clean. So that's the height of the rhombus. The height of the rhombus is given by that. Okay, so we are answering B. The area of the shaded region is equal to the area of the rhombus minus the area of the sector. So minus the area of the sector. This means you are going to have area of the rhombus is equal to the side length, which is 4, multiplied by the height. We found a 4.9497. So minus the area of the sector. So you need to remember the area for the sector, which is the formula for the area, which is half, multiplied by r squared theta. So r is a 7 squared, theta is a pi over 4. So which is going to be equal to, when you multiply by 7, a 34.6482 minus half multiplied by 49 multiplied by pi over 4. This is going to become a 34.6482 minus, if you punch that to your calculator, half multiplied by a 49 multiplied by a pi over 4, it's going to give you a 19.242255, which is equal to a 34.6482 minus that. You are going to have a 15.405945. So therefore area is equal to 15.4 centimeters squared. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that if you want to have an accurate answer, round off to 4 decimal places and make sure you know your polygons, because 2025 additional mathematics internal was not something to mess with. So let's prove the identity. That's the next question. So this is question number 4. Question number 6, which is carrying 4 marks. It's saying prove the identity. The first thing you do is you write it again. So it's going to be sine theta squared plus 1 you divide by sec theta squared plus 1 you divide by cosec theta squared is equivalent to 2 minus cos theta squared. So what you need to know is sec theta squared and cosec theta squared. These are inverse trig functions. So what do I mean when I say that? Sec theta squared is equal to 1 over cos so sec theta squared is equal to 1 over cos theta squared, and then cosec theta squared is equal to 1 over sine theta squared. You need to know this. So how did I know, or how did I manage to remember this? What I did is inverse trig functions like sec, cosec, there's one cot theta squared, which is equal to 1 over tan theta squared. But it's not of our interest in this particular question, so I want to talk about it. So when you look, the third letter here represents the function that it is the inverse of. So the third letter there is cos here, and then the third letter there is sine. So you have your sine. Sec theta squared is the inverse of cos theta squared. So it's 1 over cos theta squared. Here it's 1 over sine theta squared. That's what you need to know, so that we don't speak a lot of words. So you just need to know. Oh, okay. So I've actually removed what I typed. Sorry for that. But after doing what we did, I'm going to say you pick the left hand side. Why am I saying pick the left hand side? Because this left hand side here, it has a lot to do with. If we pick the right hand side, we might get stuck, because you need to know special trig functions to special trig identities for you to actually answer it. So I'm going to pick the left hand side, which is equal to sine theta squared plus 1 over sec theta. Oh, don't think that's okay. I think you have seen the question, so let me write it like this: plus 1 over sec theta squared plus 1 over cosec theta squared. So it's going to become is equal to sine theta squared. Let's write this in this form: plus 1 over sec theta squared represents 1 over cos theta. Are you seeing what I've done? 1 over cos theta squared. So I've made, this is what we call a complex fraction. Divide by 1 over sine theta squared. So this here will change and it will become a division sign. I'll show you what I mean. So is equal to sine theta squared plus 1 you divide by 1 over cos theta squared plus a 1 you divide by a 1 over sine theta squared. That is what I meant. So this here is the same as what I did there. It's just that now I've written the division sign. Okay, so let's continue. It's going to be equal to sine theta squared plus a 1 over 1. You multiply by the reciprocal of this, it is cos theta squared over 1 plus a 1 over 1 multiplied by the reciprocal of that, it is a sine theta squared over a 1. It's going to be is equal to sine theta squared plus cos theta squared plus sine theta squared. So what we do is we simplify, we'll add this and that. It's going to become 2 sine theta squared plus cos theta squared. Now if you look at the right hand side of the equation, there is only cosine, there is no sine. Or let me say there's only cos theta squared, there is no sine theta squared. Because if I say there is only cosine, there is no sine, someone might get confused. There's only cos, there is no sine. Okay, let me say it like that. So to continue, we are going to actually just reduce so that we can clean up. Reduce so that we can clean up. Let's zoom in again. We are going to say is equal to 2 sine theta squared plus cos theta squared. So which is equal to, oh no, let me not write is equal to. So you need to know that sine theta squared is equal to a 1 minus cos theta squared. This is an identity you need to know. Is equal to 2 multiplied by 1 minus cos theta squared plus cos theta squared is equal to 2 minus 2 cos theta squared plus cos theta squared. To continue, it's going to become 2 minus, here there's a negative 1, here there's a positive 1. So since there's cos theta squared is common, what do? And when there are different signs, you subtract to take the sign of the bigger number, which is a negative that I've put there. So it's going to be negative cos theta squared. And if you check properly, that is what we were taught to do there. So therefore, to conclude, let's clean up. Therefore, okay, sorry for that, it has zoomed out. So the document zoomed out. Okay. Therefore, left hand side is equal to right hand side, comma, hence proven. That's how you conclude. We are done. We are now going to question 7, which reads, find the term independent of x in the expansion of x squared minus 1 over 2x squared raised to the power 10, and it's carrying 4 marks. So let's get on with the answering of this video. This is question 7. All right. For example, if first of all, let me explain. For example, if you have a plus bx raised to the power n, and then they tell you to find the term independent of x. First of all, n is standing for the power, okay, and then ara actually means the term. So what I'm going to say is n combination ara. N combination ara can also be written as n like that, n and ara in brackets. So that's n combination ara. This and this are the same. Okay, so let me just clean up and okay. The rubber is not working there, so you have your a plus bx to the power n. So to write it, it will be n combination ara multiplied by the first one there is a will be raised to the power n minus ara. Then the bx, the way it is, it's going to be raised to the power ara, such that when you add the powers that are here, okay, for these two, when you add the powers, you are going to have a such that if you add the powers n minus ara plus ara, it should give you n. If you confirm, this will give you 0, so it will be n is equal to n. What I'm trying to say, the powers should give you, when you simplify, it should give you this power here, like that. So to continue, what we are going to say is this. You have your this term I. To find the term independent of x, it is the term where x is being raised to the power 0. So this is the basic formula that you should know. You should know this. Okay, it's not a formula, it's just something just to, you know, give you an idea of what to do. It's not the exact formula, but it's just an idea of what to do. So it's going to be equal to our power is 10. Okay, no, let's not write in a green one. Let's continue the black one. So it's going to be 10 combination ara, we don't know what ara is, multiplied by x squared, the power 10 minus ara, multiplied by negative 1. Okay, this one, let me explain something. Negative 2 to the power negative 2, the power ara is equal to 0. What have I done? So here, if you are concentrating, you have seen that here there is a 2x squared and it's under the fraction. What I did is that I took it up. When I took it up, the exponent became negative. So that's basically what we are doing here. We want the exponent, or if I say the word exponent, it's confusing to you. I mean, I want the power to become, essentially I want the power to go up. Or let me say, I want something having x here, okay, to go up there. That is what I want you to do, and that's why I did that. Okay, so it will be x squared, the power 10 minus ara, multiplied by minus 2x to the power negative 2, the power r is equal to x to the power 0. So why did I forget about the 10 combination ara? The 10 combination ara going forward is not needed. We just want everything having x. So even here, this 2 is also not needed. So I'm now going to go like x to the power 2 to the power 10 minus r, okay, multiplied by x, okay, so multiplied by x to the power negative 2 to the power r is equal to x to the power 0. So since all the bases, if you check, all the bases here are the same, the bases are x, so we are going to say, okay, if you have taken note, all the bases are the same, which is x. We are just going to get the powers now to be 10 minus r minus, here is going to be, first of all, make sure that you simplify the powers here. So it's going to be 2 multiplied by 10 minus r minus 2 r is equal to 0. So it's going to be 20 minus 2r minus 2r is equal to 0. 20 minus 4r is equal to 0. 20 is equal to 4r. You divide both sides by a 4. 4 can go into itself a 1, 4 can go into itself a 1, 4 can go into itself a 1, 4 can go into 20 a 5. R is equal to a 5 is our answer. So essentially we just wanted to find what R is. Okay, that was our aim, and now we know what our R is. We can just clean up. So here we can substitute. It is going to be equal to 10 combination 5, R is a 5, and then x squared to the power 10 minus r, which is a 5, multiplied by, in this case we'll just write it the way it's supposed to be written, so negative 1 over 2x squared to the power r, which is 5. And then when we do that, we'll say 10 combination 5 is 252 multiplied by 10 multiplied by what? X squared, 10 minus 5 is the power 5, multiplied by negative 1 over 2x squared raised to the power 5. So this will be equal to 252 multiplied by x to the power 10 multiplied by, since here there's a negative here and the power here is an odd number, or it is an odd power, what we are going to do is we'll maintain the negative sign. Okay, if it was an even power, like power 2, power 4, power 6, power 10, whatever power, as long as it's an even number, we would have changed the sign to positive. So we maintain a negative sign, then we'll say 1 to the power 5, it is just 1. 1 to any power is 1, take note. Then 2 to the power 5 is going to be a 32. Then x squared to the power 5, it means x squared to the power 5. Laws of indices say this is called the index of an index. So we just multiply 2 times 5, not 2 to the power 5, but 2 times 5, which is going to give us x to the power 10. Please take note, people really confuse themselves there. They usually overthink something that is not even supposed to be, overthought. Okay, I keep on pressing a certain button which is saving the document. So x to the power 10. If you cancel out there to give you a 1. And then there's negative sign. So we are going to have we're going to say is equal to 252 Negative 252 divided by 32, and then we'll say therefore the term independent of x is negative 7, remainder 7 over 8. That is your final answer. If you simplify this, that is the answer you will find. And then here for 7b, they are saying the coefficient of x to the power 3 in the expansion of 1 plus ax multiplied by 2 plus x over 4 to the power 6 is negative 25. They want us to find the value of a. So here, the way we should think is that the highest power we should reach is the power 3, because they're saying coefficient of x to the power 3. So this bracket here, we'll leave it the way it is. Why am I saying reach power 3? Because if we expand this bracket and then maybe we have 2x to the power 3, there is a 1 here. So it will be like 1 plus ax, right? Then this 1 multiplied by this is just going to give us 2x to the power 3. That's why we are expanding as far as the term having x cubed, x to the power 3. Okay, so to continue, we are going to get the 2 plus x over 4 raised to the power 6, and we expand as far as the term having x to the power 3. So this will be 6 combination 0 multiplied by 2 to the power 6 minus 0, x over 4, x divided by 4 to the power 0 plus 6 combination 1 multiplied by 2 to the power 6 minus 1 multiplied by x over 4 to the power 1 plus 6 combination 2 multiplied by 2 to the power 6 minus 2 multiplied by x over 4 over 4. This is divided by 4 to the power 2 plus 6 combination 3 multiplied by 2 to the power 6 minus 3 multiplied by x over 4 to the power 3. And then to continue, we will say, we'll show the examiner that we know what we're doing. We'll say plus, and so on and so on. We don't want to do the rest because we wanted to go as far as the term having x to the power 3. That's all. So let me just zoom out so that you can look at what I've done. Have you seen what I've done? So why was I writing in this form? I was writing this form to show you that when you add all these powers, every time they should give you 6. Every time it should give you 6. So if you just add them everywhere, if you take time to add all the powers, it should give you this 6 right there. That's the rule for binomial expansions. So 6 combination 0 is a 1. 1 multiplied by 2 to the power 6. 2 to the power 6 is a 64. Take note. Then we have a 6 combination 1, which is here. 6 combination 1 multiplied by 2 to the power 5. 6 combination 1 is a 6. 2 to the power 5 is a 32. 6 times 32 is 192. You divide by 4 is a 48. So you're going to say plus 48. Since here there's an x, we'll say 48x. Okay. Plus 48x. And then here 6 combination 2. That one you can type it on your calculator. I don't know if you have mastered Pascal's triangle. If you have mastered Pascal's triangle, good for you. You can use the numbers in your head. So it's on the calculator, 6 combination 2 is going to give you plus 15. Then 2 to the power 6 minus 2 is the same as 2 to the power 4, which is okay, let me not write the 15 because I don't want to show any work in here. So 6 combination 2 is a 15 multiplied by a 2 to the power 4. So 16 multiplied by 15 is 240 and then you divide by 16, obviously you're going to have a 15. So you're going to have a 15x squared plus a 6 combination 3. 6 combination 3, if you type on your calculator, is a 20, multiplied by a 2 to the power 3 here. 2 to the power 3 is simply 8, so 20 times 8 is 160. You divide by a 64. You are going to have a 5 over 2. So 5 over 2 x to the power 3, like that. Take note. So this one has given a fraction. Fractions are okay. Okay, when you're answering binomial expansions, fractions are okay. So long as you just saw it in your question there was a fraction like this, don't be scared if you find a fraction that you're doing something wrong. No, you haven't done anything wrong. So we were saying the coefficient in the expansion of this times this is negative 25. So it's a coefficient of x to the power 3 that we are talking about. So it's 1 plus ax. Okay, so we are going to write that down. 1 plus ax multiplied by 64 plus 48x plus 15x squared plus 5 over 2x cubed is equal to a negative 25x cubed. I'll write negative 25 together with its coefficient, okay? Then if we scroll up, we're going to say this one will be multiplied by anything having x to the power 3, so 1 multiplied by 5 over 2x to the power 3. That is what we are going to do. It's going to give us 5 over 2x to the power 3, and then this is going to be multiplied by anything having a squared. In this case it's a 15, so plus 15ax cubed is equal to negative 25x cubed. At this stage we are going to say drop x cubed, so it's going to be 5 over 2 plus 15a is equal to negative 25, right? 5 over 2 plus 15a is equal to negative 25. Then multiply throughout by 2. We are going to have 5 plus 30a is equal to a negative 50. So this is going to become, let me do it here. That's where we're going to continue from. Okay, not like that. We're going to continue our answer from there. So it's going to be 30a is equal to a negative 55 when you take this 5 to that side of the equation. So you divide both sides by 30, you divide by 30, 30 can go into itself a 1, 30 can go into itself a 1. Here, we are going to say therefore a is equal to, what is the highest number which can go into 55 and 30? It's 5. 5 can go into 55, 11, 5 can go into 36. So a is going to be equal to negative 1, remainder 5 over 6. That's your final answer. Now we're going to our question A, which is saying given that y is equal to x times 2x plus 1 raised to the power 4, the one task find y dx, and this was carrying 3 marks. So here there is you need to take note that there are two functions. There is a function x, and then there is a function 2x plus 1 raised to the power 4, which means that we are multiplying two functions. Hence, let us get on with the answering. We'll say let u be equal to the first function, which is x, and then v will be equal to the second function, which is this 2x plus a 1 raised to the power 4. Raised to the power 4. To continue, we'll differentiate this new function and this function by itself. So we'll differentiate them the way they are looking. So it's going to be du dx is equal to a 1, then dv dx, if you differentiate, I hope you are following when I was teaching on differentiation, 2x plus a 1 raised to the power 3 times a 2. So it's going to be 8 multiplied by 2x plus a 1 raised to the power 3 as your final answer for your dv dx. And then the formula for the product rule is dy. Okay, let me not write it like that. Dy dx is equal to u dv dx plus v du dx. So u dv dx plus a u, u dv dx plus a v du dx. Okay, so this will be equal to, so this means u multiplied by dv dx and v multiplied by du dx. Maybe you might be confused on what I wrote. So our u is a what? Our u is x multiplied by, so let me use the different color. So our u is x multiplied by this. That's what we are going to write. X multiplied by 8 2x plus a 1 to the power 3. So x multiplied by 8 2x plus a 1 to the power 3 plus v du dx. This is our v, and then this is our du dx. Okay, to continue, for our v, it's I've forgotten what it is. It's a 2x plus a 1 raised to the power 4. So it's a 1 times 2x plus, so a 1 times 2x plus a 4, 2x plus a 1 raised to the power 4. To continue, we're going to say is equal to 8x multiplied by 2x plus a 1 raised to the power 3 plus 2x plus a 1 raised to the power 4. Because it's like x multiplied by it is u dv dx and then v du dx, like that. To continue, what you factor out what is common. Of course, here you can see that there is 2x plus a 1. Even here there's a 2x plus a 1. But which one is common? Here it's being raised to the power 3. Here it's being raised to the power 4. So we'll remove 2x plus a 1 raised to the power 3 because it's the one that is common. So it's going to be equal to, let me get the black ink. It's going to be equal to 2x plus a 1 raised to the power 3. Okay, open bracket, 8x plus a 2x plus a 1. So we just write it like this because 2x plus a 1 raised to the power 1, okay, is the same as just writing 2x plus 1 like that. Okay, so we are going to say is equal to 2x plus a 1 raised to the power 3 multiplied by 8x plus 2x plus 1. So we are going to simplify and say, therefore, dy x is equal to 2x plus a 1 raised to the power 3 multiplied by 10x plus a 1 as your final answer for your dy dx. So that's it for that question. Now we are going to go to question 8b. Okay, question 8b reads, find the equation of the normal to the curve y is equal to 5. You divide by x plus a 1 at the point where x is equal to -2. This was carrying 6 marks. So any mistake here is result in loss of a mark. But in total, this was carrying 6 marks. So I want us to find the equation of the normal. Okay? So we have a curve. And then we have a line that touches the curve at one point. This line is what we call the tangent line. And then now, if we have a line that is actually perpendicular to the tangent line, not perpendicular to the curve, but perpendicular to the tangent line. This line, okay, let me even remove it. This line is like this. Let me draw it in a different color. Perpendicular to the tangent line. This line is called the normal. Okay, that's why they're saying the equation of the normal. So first of all, you need to know that this line here, this same one here, the tangent line here, this one, it has a gradient which we can call m1. And then this line that is perpendicular here, it has a gradient that we can call m2. So we are saying m1 times m2 is equal to -1. So that's the product of two perpendicular lines. So the gradient, okay, the product of their gradients for two perpendicular lines, it's going to give you a -1. Okay, so let's write this equation in a different form. I said that you should always make sure whatever is having x, if it's down as a denominator, it should go up as a numerator. So let us do just that. We are going to say y is equal to 5 multiplied by x plus a 1 raised to the power -1. Then we differentiate this. dy dx is equal to -5 multiplied by x plus a 1 raised to the power -1 minus 1 is a -2 times the derivative of the code there, which is a 1. So your dy dx is going to be equal to a -5. You divide by x plus a 1 raised to the power 2. So that's your dy dx there. To find out, this is, first of all, the dy dx is what we call the gradient function. It's a function that helps us find gradient or gradient. So to find gradient, where there is x, we are going to use the information given in the question. So they are saying x is equal to -2. So where there is x, we are going to write -2. That's what I mean. So m, to find our gradient, it is m. M is equal to -5 divided by a -2 plus a 1 squared, which is a -5 divided by -1 squared, which is a -5 divided by -1 squared is a +1, so it's going to be equal to -5. So our m1 I'm going to give it a name. M1 is equal to -5. This gradient we have found, this is the gradient for the tangent, but we were not asked to find the equation of the normal, so this gradient is not important. Okay, so let's find our M2. M1 times M2 is equal to -1. -5 is our M1 times M2 is equal to -1. We divide both sides by -5. -5 into itself, -5 into itself is a 1. So M2 is equal to a +1/5. +1/5 is your M2. That's all we need. So we need to know that our M2 is a +1/5. That's not everything, but that's majority of what you need to do. So it means you're almost done with the question, and by now you would have had about even 3 marks for all the working that I've already shown. But you're not supposed to rub in an examination, okay? You in an examination, you're supposed to leave it the way it is, please, okay? Okay, so to continue, it would be, we are saying when x is equal to a -2 in y. So y is equal to 5 divided by -2 plus 1. Okay, let me see. -2 plus 1, which is equal to a 5. You divide by -1, which is equal to -5. So how have I done what I've done? I'm trying to form a coordinate. So we know when x is equal to -2, y is a -5. And this is our x, y. So to find the equation of the normal, we can say y, okay, I'm going to use the easy equation because it's fast. Y is equal to mx plus c. You can use this equation, or you can use this other one, which is y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. This or that will give you the same result. Okay, to continue, we are going to say where there is x, we're going to put a -2. Where there is y, a -5 is equal to our m, which was a 1/5, multiplied by 1/5. I don't know what's happening here. I'm trying to write the number 5, but I'm failing. It's not allowing me to write 5. 1/5 multiplied by x, a -2 plus c. So a -5, okay, is equal to a -2 over -2/5 plus c. So this one is the same as writing a -25/5 plus a 2/5 plus a 2/5 is equal to a c. This is going to become c is equal to -23/5 rather. So therefore we are saying y is equal to 1/5 x minus 23. Why am I saying 22? 23/5. So we multiply throughout by a 5, and then we write it in the standard form. It will be x minus 5y. So x minus 5y minus 23 is equal to 0. And this is your final answer. This is the equation of the tangent. So you can even check through the working. We found our gradient by differentiating it, right? We found that m is equal to a 5. Okay? After seeing that m is equal to a 5, I mean a negative 5, then we came to find our m2 as a 1 over 5. Then we came to use the m2 right here. Then the coordinates we found by putting into the function. Yeah. Then we came to find that answer. Okay. So there's something interesting that I've done, I think. So I found, if you remember, I found m to be equal to a negative 5, which, how did I do it? When I differentiated it, right? And then this was my m1. Then m2 is equal to positive 1 over 5. Take note. So we're done with this, just revising the question. Let's go to this one. This one also made a lot of people stressed in the exam. It was quite a question. Okay, so let's read it. On the same diagram, sketch the graphs of y is equal to the modulus. So these two bars mean modulus of 3 plus 5 sine x, and y is equal to 1 for the domain 0 degrees is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 360 degrees. Hence, set the number of solutions for which these are equal. When they say this, they're simply trying to say whatever you're going to form where they intersect. So intersecting there, intersecting there, intersecting there, which means there are 3 solutions. Okay, but I'm not saying this question has 3 solutions. I'm just saying if it was like that. Okay, let's get on with the answering. So okay, let me count the number of lines. So you won't be able to see, but I'll be able to see. I will tell you what I'm doing. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lines. And I need about okay, we'll take it as it is. Let me clean up. So now let me zoom in. I'm just trying to count so that I can calculate and not make a mistake when I start answering. So here it will be a positive 8 right here. Now, if I say there it will be a positive 8, you might get confused. Where are you getting the 8 from, right? Okay, let me start explaining what to do. So you have y is equal to 3 plus 5 sine x, and this is in modulus. The modulus of that, right? What am I going to do? What you do is this. You are going to first of all find the minimum point. So you say mean point is equal to, you get this number here. So the number 3, you get it with the sign that it has. So there's in the modulus here, there's no a negative in front of 3 like that. It's just a positive 3. So you say 3 minus this. Here, even if it was like this, for example, if there was a negative sign here, still you would get a positive 5. Please take note. So 3 minus 5, okay, which the minimum point is going to be equal to negative 2. And then you have the maximum point. The maximum point is going to be equal to The same 3. This 3, since it was positive in this case, we are going to get the 3 plus 5 now. You have seen what I was saying? I don't get the sign that 5 has, because you might confuse yourself. Now I'm going to say plus 5, which is equal to 8. So the maximum point is 8, the minimum point is -2 for the transformed function. Okay? So because there is a 3 here, this 3 here, okay, it represents something we call a vertical shift. So for example, since they are saying sine, you know that the wave is like that. So it means instead of it being like this, it will be shifted upwards like that 3 times. So that's what the 3 means. Instead of it being like this, it will go up there. Okay? That's what I mean. Okay. So, before we even continue, I want you to know the basic wave. A sine wave is like this, right? I want you to really pay attention here. This really just confuses people. So I won't even say what is happening here. I'll just tell you the way it is. So when it goes up to 90 degrees, it is 1, then it goes like that, then it goes like that. So here, along this line here, sine is 0. Okay? So, what I'm trying to say, because sine is, or let me say here, this line represents 0, right? Since there's a plus 3, it's going to be shifted up 3. Alright? So here, if you look nicely, it means that 0 has been shifted. Okay? I don't want to confuse you too much. What I mean is that this is 0 here. Now when it has been shifted, it will go up like this. It means that the new 0 will be here. This new line here will be our 0. This line that I've, let me thicken it here, this will be our new 0. Thank you. I hope that's clear. Okay. So even here we're going to do the same and say that 0 has been shifted. Therefore our midline, 0 is our midline. Midline, okay, is equal to a 3. So the vertical shift is our midline, or our new 3. So to find the maximum number of solutions, we are going to draw all the graphs. So what I'm doing is I'm erasing what I've written, but in an exam, you can't erase what I've written. It's very important. So this is 8, that is a 7, that is a 6, just like that. A 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0, a -1, a -2, a -3, a -4. Then you also need to put a -5, but there was not enough space, so just write -5 here, extend it down, okay, and say -5. I'll tell you why I'm writing this -5, so that you can just understand the working I'm going to provide. And then you count the number of lines here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we only need about 4 divisions. So these lines are enough. So we can skip a line. We'll say 90 degrees. Here we'll say 180 degrees. Here we'll say 270 degrees. Then here we'll say 360 degrees. And then we draw a line joining these. We'll call that our x-axis. We draw a line joining this. Put an arrow there, it's going to be our y-axis. An exam, obviously there would be enough space, guys. Don't stress. Maybe you're seeing the way I'm doing things. So don't worry, there would be enough space in an exam. But what you need to know is here you would have to just reach the top here. You would have to reach the top. That's what you're just supposed to do, so that everything can fit nicely. That's why I'm saying you're supposed to do that. So the first graph we're going to draw is y is equal to 5 sine x. Before it was shifted by a 3, we're going to draw this one. So it starts from the lowest point. In this case, the lowest point for the one that has not been shifted is 0. Then it's going to go to a 5 at 90 degrees because its highest point is a 5. That's the amplitude. And then it's going to go back to 0 at 180. Then its lowest point is negative 5 for 270 degrees, a negative 5, which is somewhere there, right? And then it's going to be back to 360 degrees. Then we can make it smaller. And then we're going to, this is not the question. So this is actually the one without any changes, okay? So I'm just drawing a sketch of it. And then the one that has been shifted, okay? The one that has been shifted is here. So this has been shifted by 3, the highest point. Instead of it going to 5, it's going to go to 8. Instead of 0 being, so here of course there's a 0, but instead of 0 being there, it's going to be at a 3. That to be our new 0. So our graph is going to start from here, then to go to 8, it will come back here. So to go to 8, it will come back there. Then our new lowest point is negative 2 instead of a negative 5. So it will come back to negative 2, which is somewhere here. Then instead of going here, it's going to go up to our new 0, which is here. Take note, our new 0 is our new 0 is a y is equal to a 3. That's our new 0. So let's now sketch. We join the points, so we're going to also join that dot. Now, since our new 0 is the y is equal to 3, everything below y is equal to 3 is negative. And take note, they asked us to draw the modulus, so we're going to also draw this part in dotted lines. Then the one that is dotted, from positive 3 to negative 2, there's a 5. So if we flip it, because that's what we do modulus, we flip it, it's going to come here and become like that. So in an exam, you don't just do that, you need to name your functions. So y, okay, there won't be enough space here, so I'll name it from here. I will say y is equal to 3 plus 5 sine x, then we'll put the modulus like that. So you are done with sketching, but they also said you also sketch y is equal to 1. So y is equal to 1 is this one here. Y is equal to 1 is this one here, which is your y is equal to 1. Okay? So to know the number of solutions, first of all, your y is equal to 5 sine x is this one here. So let me name it. Y is equal to 5 sine x. This one that is in the dotted, the black one, okay? So to find the number of solutions, you do this. Take note that the dotted line, it's passed here, it's passed there, it's also passed there as it was moving, okay? So the number of solutions is where they are intersecting. How many lines are the dotted, how many times is the dotted part intersecting with the y is equal to 1? So let us check how many times that's happening. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. To conclude, you will say, therefore, there are 4 solutions to this interval. There are 4 solutions to this interval. So we are done with that part. Now we're going to go to question 10. Question 10 reads, the lines with vector equations 2i plus 3j plus p multiplied by 3i plus 7j and 3i plus 4j plus q multiplied by negative 14i plus uj are perpendicular. They want you to find the value of u. So how do you find the value of u? Very easy. If 2 lines are perpendicular, it means that the direction vector is this part having p and this part having q. So the product of those 2 vectors should give you 0. Since this means that we are meaning 3i plus 7j times negative 14i plus uj should give us 0. Should give us 0. So this means that 3 multiplied by negative 14, 3 multiplied by negative 14 is a negative 42. So what have I done? I'm multiplying this and this. So when you're multiplying vectors, only multiply the I and the j components, because I times I will give you 1, j times j will give you 1, but I times j will give you 0, because the dot product of two vectors that are perpendicular gives you 0. I represents movement in that direction, j represents movement in that direction, so the angle between them is 0. So if you multiply them, it's like you're trying to say I times j using the angle which is 0. I mean, using the angle 90 degrees here, and cos 90 degrees is 0. Okay, take note of that. So we are going to just clean up like that. Okay, I don't know why this has come back. I cleaned up and then it came back. So it's going to be negative 42 plus 7u is equal to 0. Negative 42 is equal to negative 7u divided by negative 7 divided by negative 7. 7 can go into itself a 1. 7 can go into itself a 1. Negative 7 into it, a 1, it's a 1. Into this, it's a 6. So a negative and the negative sign will also, do its thing to give you a positive. So this also gives you a positive. To conclude, you are going to say, therefore, u is equal to a 6. And then they are saying, find the point of intersection of the lines with vector equations. This is carrying 6 entire marks because it is an involving question. So we're going to write this in the scalar equation form, which is in the standard form of an equation, which is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. How am I going to do that? I'm going to say from R1. This is a very good question. We are saying from R1 we need to know a property first of all before I proceed. The normal vector n, which is equal to a b, represents the coefficient of the scalar equation ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. And that's what you have to know. So this is the direction vector m. Now direction vector m multiplied by the normal vector n should give you 0. So anything when you multiply and they give you 0, just know that they are opposite of each other. Okay, I'll explain what I mean. Obviously what I've said does not make sense to some people. So from R1, let me clean up. I don't know why things are coming back. Okay, from R1, m is equal to 2, negative 7. And then we'll say our vector n we don't know, so we'll say it's equal to xy. But what we know is 2, negative 7 multiplied by xy is going to be equal to 0. So 2x minus 7y is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. 2x is equal to 7y. You divide by 7, you divide by 7. So I'm trying to form an equation. Y is equal to 2 over 7x. Now, the normal vector is when you flip this. So n is equal to 7, 2. 2 over 7 now it has become 7, 2, without writing 7 divided by 2, but you write it like that, because that's how you write vectors, okay? So why was I saying that when you anything that when you multiply gives you 0, they are opposite of each other? Look at this vector very well. This vector is 7, 2. And then here, the direction vector was 2, negative 7. Why am I saying they're opposite of each other? What happened was that the negative 7 here, okay, it went up, so it became negative 7, 2. But after it goes up, one of them, either the negative 7 or the 2, should change its sign. So usually the one that's negative changes its sign. So it became positive 7, 2 as our normal vector. And that's the answer we found here as a 7, 2. Okay, I hope that is understood. It's a very clever way of seeing it. So what are we doing right now? We are trying to form our first equation. So we are going to say 7x plus 2y plus c is equal to 0. And then here we're going to get these coordinates, which is 2, negative 4. So 7 multiplied by positive 2 plus a 2 multiplied by negative 4 plus a c is equal to 0. So it's going to be 14 minus 8 plus c is equal to 0. So it's 14 minus 8 is, right? Yeah. 14 minus 8 is going to give you a 6 plus c is equal to 0. So c is equal to negative 6. 7x plus 2y minus 6 because of the 2, negative 4. So we are going to say 7x plus 2y minus 6 is equal, let me write it in a different form, is equal to positive 6 as our equation 1. So we have formed our equation 1 like that. And did you see all that went through to just form our equation 1? So I'm not going to use that method again. I'm going to use a faster method now, because I've explained. If you're not clear, I hope you should follow then what I'm going to do here so that you can be clear. We'll say from R2 n is equal to the normal vector is positive 9 and positive 3. So 9x plus 3y plus c should give you 0. It means we are saying 9 multiplied by the x coordinates for R2 and the y coordinates are here. So 3, 4. 9 multiplied by 3 plus a 3 multiplied by 4 plus a c is equal to 0. So 27 plus a 12 plus c is equal to 0. 27 plus a 12 is 39 plus c is equal to 0. C is equal to negative 39. So c is equal to negative 39. Okay. Therefore, we are saying 9x plus 3y is equal to a negative, okay, in this case, since negative 39 was there, it will be a positive 39 as our equation 2. And then the next step is to clean up. So we solve the two simultaneously. So 7x plus 2y is equal to 6. 9x plus 3y is equal to 39. So here I'm going to multiply by a negative 3, here multiply by a positive 2. So it's going to be negative 21x minus 6y is equal to negative 18. And then here 18x plus 6y is equal to 39 times 2. 39 times 2 is 78, like that. To continue, we simplify. We're going to put plus here. So here we're going to have a negative 3x is equal to a 78 minus 18. It's going to give you a 60. So if you divide by negative 3, you divide by negative 3 into itself a 1, negative 3 into itself a 1, into itself a 1, and into that it is a 20. So x is equal to negative 20. Then you come and say let x be equal to negative 20 in equation 1. So it's going to become 7 multiplied by negative 20 plus 2y is equal to 6. 7 multiplied by negative 20 is going to give you a negative 140 plus a 2y is going to give you a positive 6. 2y is equal to 6 plus 140. So 6 plus 140, like that. 2y is equal to 146. You divide by 2, you divide by 2. 2 can go into itself a 1, 2 can go into itself a 1. Okay, so if we scroll up, y is equal to 2 can go into itself a 1, into that's a 7, into that's a 373. Therefore the point of intersection is negative 20, 73. Sometimes you can have big answers. So like in this case, this was the point of intersection, negative 20, 73. I hope you followed for each and every step. Then question 11a is saying evaluate this integral. It was carrying 3 marks. It was an interesting question to put in additional mathematics because of how simple it is. But we are still going to evaluate the integral. So this is going to be equal to, let's copy down what has been written already. So the integral from 0 to 3 of 4x squared minus 1 dx. This is going to be equal to 4x, we add the 1 to the power, we divide by the new power, minus x. So just becomes x. And then we're integrating from 0 to 3. This is going to be equal to 4 going to be equal to 4 multiplied by 3 to the power 3 divided by 3 minus 3 minus 0, which is, so here the 3's can cancel out to give you a 3 to the power 2. So 4 multiplied by 3 to the power 2 minus 3, it will become 4 multiplied by 9 minus 3, which is equal to 36 minus 3. Therefore, your final answer was a 33. And then here they're saying the diagram shows part of the curve y is equal to x squared plus a1 intersecting the line y is equal to 4x at q, which is 0, 1, and at a point P, which we don't know. Then they want you to find the coordinates of P. Okay? So it was carrying 3 marks, which is question B1. B1. So we have the first equation, y is equal to x squared, 4x plus a1 and x squared plus a1. These are the two equations we have. So since both of them are y, we are going to equate them. So 4x plus a1 is equal to x squared plus a1. And then we are going to write it in the standard form for the quadratic equation. X squared minus 4x plus a1 minus 1 is equal to 0. X squared minus 4x is equal to 0, like that. So x multiplied by x minus 4 is equal to 0. X is equal to 0, or x minus 4 is equal to 0. Here x is equal to a 4. So x is equal to 0 or x is equal to a 4. So we don't want the one where x is equal to 0, because we already know here x is equal to 0. We want where they are saying x is equal to a 4, because here, of course, it's going to give you a coordinate there, as you can see. So we can rub. We'll say let x be equal to 4 in y. So you can choose any of your equations. I will choose this one. Y is equal to 4 squared plus a 1, which is 16 plus a 1. Y is equal to 17. Therefore, the point P is a 4, 17. That's your final answer. And the second part of the question, it reads the area of the shaded region. So first of all, you need to look at your equations and you need to establish which one is the top function and which one is the bottom function. So if you look nicely, this function here is on top of this one, because this one is going like that and then this one is going like that. You have seen that? Okay, I hope you have seen that. So the top function is y is equal to 4x plus a1. The bottom function is y is equal to x squared plus a1. So this is our B2. B2, y1 is equal to 4x plus a1. y1 means our top function, and then y2 is equal to x squared plus a1 as our bottom function. So the area of the shaded region is equal to the integral from 0 to 4, because we know the point P is 4, of y1 minus y2 with respect to x dx, which is equal to the integral from 0 to 4 over y1, which is a 4x plus a 1, minus our y2, which is our x squared plus a 1 dx. This is equal to the integral from 0 to 4 of 4x plus a 1 minus x squared minus 1 dx, which is equal to the integral from 0 to 4 of this, and this will give you a 0. You remain with 4x minus x squared dx. After we remain with 4x minus x squared dx, we can now clean up what we have done. So 4x minus x squared dx, so it's going to be equal to the integral. Let me zoom in. It's going to be equal to the integral of 4x, which is going to become 4x to the power 2 divided by 2 minus x to the power 3 divided by 3, from 0 to 4. So I'm integrating this here, okay? It's going to become is equal to 4 can go into itself a 1, 4 can go into a 2 is a 2. So 2x squared minus x to the power 3 over 3 from 0 to 4, which is equal to, there are going to have 2 multiplied by 4 minus 4 cubed over 3 and minus 0. I'm going to say is equal to 2 times a 4 is a 16 minus, here we have 4 to the power 3 is a 64 over 3. And then okay, yes. And then we have 16 times a 3, so 48. Which is 48 over 3. So we're going to say is equal to 48 over 3 minus 64 over 3, and then this will give you negative 16 over 3. Okay, I found a negative answer here. I'm so sorry about that. You know, it must have been a mistake from me. I have already seen where the mistake was made, so I've cleaned up. Remember that here there's the power 2, right? 2 multiplied by 4 squared. That's what, so we are plugging in a 4. It was actually 2 multiplied by 4 squared. In my head, I only did 4 squared. Okay? I didn't multiply by 2. So it's going to be equal to a 32 minus a 64 over 3. Then 32 times 32 times a 3 is a 96 over 3. So to continue, this is going to give us 96 over 3 minus 64 over 3, which is equal to 96 minus 64 is a 32 over a 3. To conclude, we'll say, therefore, area is equal to 10 remainder 2 over 3 units squared. That's your area. Okay, then question 12 says, solutions to this question by square root drawing will not be accepted. In the following diagram, PQRS is a quadrilateral with an area of 13 square units. Q is a point 6, 1. That's your Q. Then they're saying R is 4, 4. That's your R. Then RS, which is this line here, is 4y is equal to x plus 12. And then they want us to find the equation of QS. So to find the equation of QS, we need the gradient. And then we have the coordinates Q, which is 6, 1. So we need to find the gradient. Which means for us to find the gradient, we need to find the point S. Now, since the point S is along the y-axis, already we know it is x, it is 0, 0, y. That's the point S. S is 0, y. The only thing that we need to know is the y coordinate. And here we have this equation which can help us find the y coordinates. So we have 4y is equal to x plus 12. Okay, so we're answering A. y is equal to x plus 12 when x is equal to 0. 4y is equal to a 12. You divide by 4, you divide by 4, 4 can go into itself, a 1, 4 can go into itself, a 1, 4 can go into itself, a 1, 4 can go into 12 3 times. Y is equal to 3. Therefore, the point S is S 0, 3. So we have to find the equation of QS, where we are going to clean up to create space. So this was carrying how many marks to find the equation of QS? 4 marks. There's a cheat code, okay? You can write it like this: y minus y1 is equal to m multiplied by x minus x1. That's your equation for the straight line. But you can also write it like this: y minus y1 is equal to, instead of writing m, you say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 multiplied by x minus x1. So this is the same as m. Yes. Then the coordinate S is a 0, 3. Q, I believe, is a 6, 1. So x sub 1, x, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. So y minus 3 is equal to your y2, which is your 1, minus your y1, which is a 3, your x2, which is a 6, your x2, which is a 6, minus your x1, which is a 0. You multiply by x minus your x1, which is a 0. You're going to be left with y minus 3 is equal to negative 2 over 6 multiplied by x. So this can go into itself a 1, can go into 6 a 3. So we are saying y is equal to a negative 1 over 2x, like that, plus 3. Now we can zoom in, negative 1 over 2x plus 3. Then we multiply throughout by 2. We are going to have 2y is equal to a negative x plus 6. Then if you write in the standard form, we are going to have x plus 2y minus 6 is equal to 0. So this is the equation of qx. QS. Equation of qs is that. Then they want us to find the coordinates of P. For us to find the coordinates of P, we need to recognize that P is on the x-axis. So which means what we already know about P is x, 0, because the y coordinate along the x-axis is just 0. So what we don't know about P is just the x coordinate. And then the other thing that we know is that the other thing we know is that the area is 13 square units. And then they're going to give us 6 marks if we find this coordinate here, this comma x here. They are gonna give us 6 marks for doing just that. So let us do that, and let me show you that it was actually a very, very easy question. So first of all, we need to know the area, okay, of such diagrams. I'm going to pick this one as my x0, y0. The formula for a quadrilateral, which is a 4-sided polygon, and then we're finding the area is equal to, so the only hard part of this question is knowing the formula. That's so. If you know the formula, this question was easy, my friend. Area is equal to half x0, y0, x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, y3, then x0, y0. That's what we need to do. So we are going to say 1 over 2 multiplied by my x naught y naught was a 6, 1. That's what I chose. So we are going anti-clockwise. We're going in this direction. We'll be picking coordinates like that. So from here we'll go like that. We'll go like that. We'll go like that. Then we'll be back to where we started. So 6, 1. Then we'll go to 4, 4. Then we'll go to 0, 3. 6, 1, 4, 4, 0, 3, and then x, 0, back where we started, which is 6, 1. You have seen. The formula may look complex, but when you write the numbers, it's quite easy. These bars mean modulus is equal to 13. So half of, you start multiplying like this. Have you seen what I did there? That's what you're going to do. Half of 1 times 4 is a 4. Okay, no, sorry. Half of whatever is going to be in the brackets, that's what we're going to do. So now let's start. 1 times 4 is a 4. 0 times 4 is a 0. 0 times 4 is a 0. And then 3 times x is a 3x. 0 times 6 is a 0. Minus 4 times 6 is a 24. So there we have a 4, 0, 3x, 6. So 4 times 6, okay? Now we're going like this. Let me show you what I mean. Now we are going like that. So we are saying 4 times 6 is a 24. Then 4, and then 3 times 4 is a positive 12. Then 0 times 0 is a 0. And then x times 1 is x plus x. There is not enough space. I was supposed to say is equal to 13. Okay. 13, okay? It's a bit visible. I don't know, I was writing big things. So half of here we have the modulus of 4 plus 3x. Then you distribute this negative sign in this bracket. It's going to be minus 24 minus 12 minus x is equal to 13. So half modulus. If we simplify the x's, you are going to have a 2x. The numbers, all of them, we are going to have negative 36 plus 4 is a negative 32 is equal to 13. So if you multiply both sides by a 2, you multiply here by a 2. Let me write it better. So this is a 2 here, and then it's 1 over 2. I multiply this side by 2, multiply by 2, we're going to have 2x minus 32 is equal to 26. 2 can go into itself a 1, 2 can go into itself a 1. So 2x is equal to 26 plus 32 2x is equal to 26 plus 32. Type it in your calculator. 26 plus 32 is going to give you 58. 58 divided by 2 divided by 2. X is going to give you 58 divided by 2. X is going to give you a 29. Okay, so again, seems I made a mistake again, I believe. Or did I? Okay, so I just went through that working, and I recognize that I did not do the correct pattern. So the pattern is actually, you go like that, like that, like that, like that. Then after you go like that, you subtract this, like that, like that, like that. Okay, so let's continue. So you're going to have, let me zoom in. 1 over 2 multiplied by a 6 times 4 is a 24. 4 times 3 is a 12. 0 times 0 is a 0. X times 1 is x. Minus 1 times 4 is a 4. Then we have 4 times 0 is a 0. 3 times x is a 3x. 0 times 6 is a 0. Is equal to 13. To continue to be half of, we simplify what is in the brackets. This is 36 plus x. Of course, here there's a plus sign there. 36 plus x minus here, if we simplify, to just be 4 plus 3x is equal to 13. Sorry for that mistake. It was an oversight. Okay, 1 over 2, it will be 36 plus x. We distribute this negative sign, it will be minus 4 minus 3x is equal to 13. So half of, simplify here, we are going to have a positive 32. Then we simplify here, minus 2x is equal to 13. So 32 minus 2x is equal to 13. Then multiply both sides by 2 so that we can get rid of this half. So 32 minus 2x is equal to 26. 32 minus 2x is equal to 26. 32 minus 2x is equal to 26. We take the 26 the other side, is equal to 2x. The 2x is now positive. If we erase, it's going to become 32 minus that is going to give you about that is a 4 plus a 2, which is 6. So 6 is equal to 2x. We divide by 2, we divide by 2, 2 can go into itself 1, 2 can go into itself 1, and then into 6 it's a 2. Okay, that x coordinate I was talking about, remember it, x is equal to sorry, what did I say here? It's supposed to be a 3. So x is equal to a 3. So therefore, your P will be a 3,0 as your final answer. So this marks the end of this video and the answering of this question paper. I'd like to thank you for the support, and I hope this question, the answering of this question paper can help in some way. Upon finishing this question paper, the total number of subscribers was about 40. I really appreciate the support. This has been Cornelius Lubinda with another video, and bye bye.